Well, you know what's funny is that you have you're looking at the schedule, right? And a couple weeks ago, you had the national game on CBS. So obviously, it was the world's largest outdoor cocktail party. And the trivia question they posted was really funny because it was, which SEC East team, if Georgia could win the SEC East for the third straight year, which team has the record, the only other team to win the SEC East 3 times in a row? And I'm thinking, how many other teams win the SEC East besides Georgia and Florida? I mean, Tennessee last won in 2004. They only won like 3 times. South Carolina's only won once. Vanderbilt and Kentucky never won. If it's not Florida, it's got to be. If it's not Georgia, it's got to be Florida. It's like that's really a tough question. For a national game to put up there. I just found that hysterical.
Yeah, absolutely. It's yeah, I don't know. Mizzou had a couple of games in there that they pulled it off. But yeah, the East has been a weird conference. It's definitely, the SEC West is like, in terms of the division, it's been like the, strongest division overall with like at least 4 or 5 teams that are, top 25 big-time players. And so there has been a little bit of an unbalanced situation in the divisions. But again, like, I think it's just, I think it'll even itself out eventually. Like, they'll probably have to give Muschamp the old heave-ho, and then, I don't know with Tennessee, I don't know what they're going to do. But I think eventually, it's great to see Florida kind of come back in because, they were hot garbage, too, for a while. So, the division unbalance, I think, is definitely a thing. But honestly, though, with the playoff, winning an SEC championship just isn't what it used to be. So it's just kind of a step along the way. Like, if you win the SEC and then you lose in the first round of the playoffs, no one cares. Like, no one cares about that season. So
right.
I think it's just it's an after effect of the playoffs. Like, the conference championship is cool. It's a good time to celebrate, but at the end of the day, it's just one little step along the ultimate journey of getting blown out by Clemson in the championship.
We're talking with Josh Snead and Robert Clay of SEC Shorts. Great videos, and coming from a Big Ten time myself, Penn State guy. So if I can find these videos funny, especially coming after a tough loss, anyone can find them funny. Any college football fan, I urge you to watch SEC Shorts. There are just some great clips every week on the highlights and lowlights of the SEC. Robert, this last question for me here, specific to you as an Auburn fan. I feel like Auburn is the weirdest fan base in terms of, they love Gus Malzahn, they hate Gus Malzahn. He wins a big game, give him a massive extension, loses a game, everyone wants him fired, talking about buyouts. What is your feelings on Gus Malzahn? Do you like him as a head coach? And, what is his status in your mind of, should he be here next year? Or would you be upset if he moves on to Arkansas or somewhere else? What are your thoughts on Gus Malzahn?
Yeah, so Gus, I was on the Gus bus for a lot longer than everybody else was. And then we lost to Tennessee last year. And then I was like, I'm going to slash the tires on the Gus bus and push it into a ravine. And so I was off of the Gus bus. And then this year, Auburn has struggled offensively, but I honestly don't think it's his fault. I think he's put the team in situations to win. He's put them in situations where if our quarterback throws to the right receiver or at least, completes a pass, it's a touchdown. So I don't necessarily think it's on him, like the struggles we're having. I think we're just kind of having the freshman quarterback problems. So, with Arkansas coming open, I actually would not be surprised if he left. And, it's one of those, it's like if you keep getting on and off again with your girlfriend or something, it's like, all right, maybe it's just time to kind of cut this off. I don't know. I don't know who he would get, and maybe, if he leaves after the fact, we'll come to appreciate him in a much greater light, kind of how, with Tennessee, they're looking at the Phil former years with great awe and wonder, and so maybe you would appreciate him more. But I like Gus. I think he's been great calling plays this year. It's just the issues we're running into is just he can call the play and he can get the receiver open by 10 yards, but if we're overthrowing him by 20, it doesn't really matter.
Again, we're here with Josh Snead and Robert Clay of SEC Shorts. It's hysterical videos, even for guys up north. College football isn't as passionate to us as everyone else. We still appreciate the creativity that these two guys bring. My last question here, guys, about Notre Dame, because I know that there's a general feeling of maybe a lot of people either hate or love Notre Dame. How do you guys each look at Notre Dame?
Obviously, the movie Rudy is great and one of the greatest things that ever happened in cinema. But Notre Dame, the team, is garbage. Anyone who's ever played for them is a terrible monster, and they don't deserve to ever win any games. Also, God bless Rudy.
Rudy is really good. I think with Notre Dame, I don't respect them as much because they don't join a conference. They're all uppity. They're like, oh, we're too good for that. Like, you have to join a conference. I don't like anybody who gets special rules made for them. Like, okay, well, if you are finishing the top 8, you get in the playoff. Like, what? I don't like that. So I think they're scared. I think they did play Georgia all right, but Georgia's not very good. So, Notre Dame, they got the pedigree. They got their own little NBC TV contract. Good for them. But at the end of the day, I think they need to just join the Big Ten and get it over with.
Yeah, and I think, obviously, the reason why they don't join a conference is because they don't have to, because they make enough money everywhere else. They're like, screw you. We don't need to join a conference and share our money with you. I think that's the biggest thing that they have going for us, for them. I've never been a Notre Dame follower, but I could understand the fact that it infuriates me that, what do they play? Half of an ACC schedule? That makes absolutely no sense. And even the teams they play aren't very good. So I share in that frustration. But listen, guys, whenever you have this, I don't know if you ever come up to New York or if you're ever in this area. If you ever need an extra pair of actors, Ryan and I are always available. Two good-looking guys.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I'm sure we could add to your videos in some way or another. Maybe the Nick Saban School of Sarcasm would be another idea you guys could go, because I enjoy hearing Saban after a press conference. It's priceless how he handles the media. But I can't thank you enough. I reached out to you. You got back to me right away. It was like a kid on Christmas when I got your email. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for coming on and spending this time with us. It really means a lot to us. We love you guys.
Hey, we really appreciate y'all having us, and great show y'all have going on. And like I said, it's great to see that y'all are just big football fans, and doesn't matter where it's happening in the country, y'all are into it. So that's awesome. We appreciate y'all watching the videos too.
Absolutely.
Yeah, thanks, guys. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, again, Josh Snead, Robert Clay, SEC Shorts. Anytime you guys want to come back, hopefully we'll have you back sometime, around the college football playoff time. But thank you for sharing our time with us, and you guys have a great week.
All right, you too.
Thanks, guys. Again, Josh Snead, Robert Clay of SEC Shorts. There's some great stuff there. So, Mark, we hit on a lot of college football. Obviously, we got their thoughts on what happened for the game of the century in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, and LSU. We'll get our thoughts as well. Talk about who should be the 4th team right now in the second batch of the college football playoff rankings. It is the Morning Boys, Ryan Hickey, Mark Everett Kelly with you on the Worldwide Sports Radio Network.